dun. Hey everybody, I want to welcome you to our Capricorn Full Moon Eclipse release ceremony. It's been a crazy couple of days. The tides here have been insane. It completely flooded Newport Beach. Our beaches are kind of lower because there's like a 30 to 50 foot cliff. And so we didn't get flooded, but it's pretty insane how incredibly intense the tides are. So what happens with the sun and the moon and with the full moon is the sun and the moon have a gravitational pull against each other, right? It holds them in place. What happens is when we have these full moons, the energy is more intense and it's pulling more intensely on not only the water or anything that's not held down, so that's why the tides are higher with a full moon, but it also pulls on our energy because we're 70 to 80% water. So we get kind of pulled into these tides, not realizing it, and that's why emotions run so much higher during a full moon. Now, I was thinking about this full moon specifically. So this is the third eclipse that we have had in the last 5 weeks. This won't happen again for another 9 years. And the last time we had an eclipse that was taking place at this degree was in 2018. And so there is this huge shift that's taking place because eclipses give us the opportunity to see ourselves more clearly. It's sort of a portal that jumpstarts your life and moves you forward in a faster way. So if you're pushing your life forward in a way that you don't want, then you may want to back off and reassess what's taking place in your life so that you can shift gears and focus on the things that you do want to get. So astrology, the sun, the moon, all of the planets have a huge effect on us. We're getting pulled into, there's 5 planets that are retrograde right now, which simply means it's an inward journey. So this full moon has been very introspective. It's bringing up issues related to our personal authority and personal power struggles and how we can determine where we're at and heal those. Because for us to want change in the outer world, we have to change our inner world. That means our thoughts, our belief patterns, our emotions, our DNA, which is our family programming. All of these things have a huge impact on us. So as we're going through this release ceremony today, I'm going to help you set your intentions on something you want to release. But in order to release something, we want to also integrate something new. So the universe hates a void. And so if we release something, if we don't replace it with something else, then the old something comes back. So say you were releasing self-confidence, issues around self-confidence or not feeling valued. You'd want to replace it with feeling valued, respected, loved, admired, whatever keywords kind of jump at you. And if you can't think of anything specific, I always tell people just to replace everything with unconditional love because it's one of the highest frequencies and it will actually support you in drawing more of the good stuff that you want to you. Now, this particular ritual that we're going to be going through, I actually started it because I was feeling very inspired. Let me shift to the other video because I've got 2 cameras going here so you can see how we've already started. So I got red, white, and blue sugar. And we want to bring in sugar. Sugar is the basis of creating what's called a despacho. And a despacho is simply a ceremony. It can be a release. It can be, starting something new. Maybe you're setting your intentions around a specific project or starting a new business or something. A despacho gives you the opportunity to breathe your intentions and bring in the earth elements and pay homage to Mother Earth because it's in physical form that we truly do manifest. So I bring in sugar to bring in the sweetness of life. And as I was kind of contemplating today and thinking, okay, because we've done this for the last couple of weeks, last 5 weeks, what can we do differently that would support us. And this specific symbol was one of the symbols. I had two specific symbols in a book that I wrote in 2001. It came out on 9/11 of 2001. And it is a release symbol. So what it's doing, it is unwinding tightly held beliefs, emotional patterns, beliefs, belief patterns, family patterns, and dynamics that relate and hold you back from the success that you desire. So it's unwinding it and sending it to the heavens. And then we want to integrate the opposite spiral to bring it into physical form. So as we go throughout tonight's release ceremony, we're going to bring together, these are bay leaves, and they help with the release process. So what I will ask you is what it is that you want to release and what it is that you want to reclaim. And so think about that as we're going to go through this presentation so that you can, I will breathe your intentions into this. The very last Kintu, these are called Kintus, the very last one that we do, and we'll actually do single ones for each one of us just because of the space that we will run out of. What's the size of this? The very last one is going to be a silent one. So if there's something that you don't specifically want to express to the group, then I will, we'll take a minute of silence and I will breathe all of your intentions into the last Kintu. And anyone who is not watching this live, watching this on the recorded version, at that point you can breathe your intentions into the release ceremony. So what happens with all of this is after we've created and layered all of these amazing earth elements and that support not only us, but in bringing our intentions into physical form, is then I have an actual fire ceremony where I burn all of this. And we want the success of the despacho for all of our sakes. So even if we're going through this, I can almost guarantee you, if you say something, there will be one or two other people that also have that same thing that you want to release. So I don't think that any of your answers are silly by any capacity. We're here to love and support you in whatever healing process you're at. So just recognize that, that this is a journey, and this is a journey for you, and this release is for you. It's not just for me to show you how to do it. And there's so many different ways that you can do this. I'm kind of doing an abbreviated version, but there's so many different ways that you can do it. And it's a very powerful way to release the old and bring in something new, or to integrate something new that's coming into your life. So I kind of giggle at this full moon because taking place on the 4th of July in the United States. So what happens with the full moon is the sun is in one astrological sign and the moon is opposite. So we have this polarity that's pulling us in opposition. So the sun in this instance is in Cancer. Cancer is representative of the mother. It's Mother Earth. It's home base. It's emotional security. It's nurturing other people, those types of things. Capricorn, where the moon is and the full moon, Capricorn is the divine masculine. This is our outer authority, how we present ourselves in the world. Capricorn also relates to creating stability. It has to do with our job. It has to do with how we make money in the world and those types of things. So as we go through this specific activity, I want you to think of any polarity that you're feeling in the divine masculine and divine feminine, because that's what we're shifting gears with. We're getting into the place of really embracing both elements, because we have masculine and feminine contributions within us. So the reason I was giggling about this full moon and eclipse, which the eclipse was taking place across the northern hemisphere. So this is all about getting to a place of compassion. It's about getting to a place of emotional stability, creating our own emotional stability and security versus reaching for it outside of ourselves. Now that's the feminine side. And if you think about it, United States was created under this Cancer energy. So the United States was created as a container to hold all of the people that felt oppressed in some other society. And so they moved here. So here we are trying to live together, and we're still trying to figure all of that out 244 years later, right? But each step that we take, every opportunity that we tune into compassion, that we tune into forgiveness, that we tune into our own power struggles, this gives us that opportunity to really express, who am I in the world, and how do I bring those gifts and talents forward? So that's the divine feminine side. The masculine side is there's a difference between power and force. So what we've been living with for the past several thousand years is power that is actually force, where I'm the king and I rule everything and it's my way or the highway, right? And it's the same thing with a lot of top-down type situations. But we're moving out of that paradigm and then embracing, we're kind of swinging the other way, and hopefully we'll bring the pendulum back to the center where we embrace our true power. And true power only comes from our higher self. So we have to honor that piece of us, honor our pure intent and our pure creation, and allow that power to work through us. This doesn't mean that we're taking power away from other people. It means we're standing and honoring our divinity and allowing other people to honor their divinity. That will ultimately help us in creating peaceful coexistence that we're looking for. So as we're going through this transition, one of the reasons that I wanted to do these release ceremonies with the new and full moons and the eclipses was to set our intentions for something better. We are in a place where we can be better, we can do better, we have the tools. The vibration and frequency of the earth is at such a rate that we're able to shift our own personal vibe, raise that up, and adopt that energy into our physical body. As we unwind tightly held beliefs, old family patterns and dynamics, we're able to anchor more light within us. And as we do that, we raise our personal frequency, the frequency of the planet, and it supports all of mankind. So we're going to start with the 4 directions. So I'll actually start with the first 3 or the first 4 kintus so that we can bring in the energies of, there we go. We'll bring in the energies of the sun and the moon. And I brought in red, white, and I had a hard time finding blue flowers. Everybody has pink hydrangeas around here, but nobody had any blue ones, so I couldn't get any of those. But the first one, before I start layering these, I'll kind of show you what I'm doing. Da-da-da, I've lost myself. I've lost, there I am. Okay, so this is what the kintu looks like. So I've got a rose petal. Rose is one of the highest vibrating plants, and I'll use a bunch of essential oils also to support us. So the rose represents unconditional love. I also brought in a geranium flower because geranium helps us release situations where we have been betrayed. It brings in the opportunity to trust our heart and to be open to love and accept ourselves and others. So this first kintu, this is going to be for the divine masculine, and it's going to be for the Capricorn energy. So this one is specifically related to claiming our inner authority and our personal power. And then the next one we're going to do is actually going to be for the Cancer energy. So we want to bring in the energy of feeling loved, feeling nurtured, feeling respected, feeling valued. And we'll breathe that in. And I'm going to shift because you can see me, but we'll start layering these. So I've got those in opposition. And then the next one I want to bring in for the Cancer moon is integrity, that we're able to stand in our personal integrity and learn what that means, that we're not just doing things for the right reason or for any reason or to show ourselves up for anybody else, but to do it for the right reason. So we're bringing in integrity. And then the last one that I'm going to do, and then I'm going to open up the lines to you all to bring in your intentions. Last one we're going to bring in is the Divine Mother, the energy of divine love, the energy of compassion. And I've set the intention in our four directions. So if, because I don't have everything open, if you can unmute yourself and let me know what your intentions are, that would be great. And I'll put myself back as being pinned. Okay, who's first? Just go ahead and unmute yourself.
Hi, Jonna.
Hello, love.
Thank you very much for inviting me.
Absolutely. Thanks, Ed, for coming.
I would like to, my intention to have physical abundance, manifest a beautiful, pain-free, good cells, good lungs, physical abundance in every shape and form.
Love that. So important, especially with the Capricorn energy. So I'm going to bring in some essential oils with that one. So wild orange smells amazing, but it is the oil of unconditional love. I mean, it's the oil of abundance, because if you think of orange trees, they overflow with abundance, right? So when we can call in that abundance and receive it, then we attract more of it to us. I'm also going to bring in frankincense, because this is the oil of the divine masculine. It is the oil of truth and helping us to see our truth. And then the last one I'll bring in for the myrrh is a really sticky resin. But I'll bring in myrrh for Mother Earth, and hopefully I can get it to come out. She's really sticky. It's a resin from a tree, but it'll come out in a minute. But thank you for bringing that up, Ed. Who's next?
I'd like to go.
All right, who's this?
Lee, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good, thank you. So I would like to set my intention on faith, like hope and truth. I've had some disappointments lately, and it's really like kind of discouraged my faith in God and the universe and even myself. I've lost a lot of hope and faith. So I want to set that as my intention, so that when these disappointments happen, I don't kind of like lose it all and give up.
I love that. Thank you for bringing that in. That's beautiful.
Thank you.
All right, who's next?
I'm Shireen. How are you?
Hi, Shireen.
How are you?
Good. How are you, love?
I'm wonderful. My intentions is to call in physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, and financial abundance and love, unconditional love and marriage.
Have you joined my Money Mastery course yet?
I'm sorry?
Have you joined my Money Mastery course yet?
I actually just found your information. So this is my first time even hearing about you.
Awesome.
But I can take the information before I get off the phone.
Yeah, I will definitely. It's going to be free this year, and it's a 9-week course. But you said all the key words, because I empower people mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, and financially. So that tells me that you're in the right place.
I'm in the right place.
I love it. I love it how things come together. All right. Thank you, love. All right. Somebody else was speaking when Shireen popped up too.
It's Mona.
Hi, Mona.
And hi, Jana. I remove my family disarray that we have right now and bring us back into unity.
There's a specific issue related to forgiveness that you need to look into. I'm actually going to add a blend called Forgive specifically to yours, but
I have 3 daughters that are fighting amongst each other.
All right, that's what I'm picking up on. Wow, it's actually a common thing that's going on right now. I don't know why, but I've got 2 other people in my life that are doing that as well. So yeah, forgiveness and peace is the other oil blend. If y'all have any questions about oils and things that would support you, we can connect later. I have a website called Good Vibe Oil Tribe, and you can get stuff there, but we can also connect and do a personal evaluation to find out what oils will support you most too. All right, thank you, Mona. I appreciate you bringing that in. All right, who's next?
I'll go.
Hello?
Okay. Oh my
Not sure
gosh.
who
You're like,
at
you're
first.
shrouded in light, whoever you are. All I see is
Oh.
like glowing light.
Yeah, I don't know what's wrong with the camera.
Angel's
So
joining us. I love it.
I have no idea why it's doing that, and I don't know how to fix it, but it's Elisa. I'm in Yellow Springs, Ohio.
Oh my
And-
God, I haven't heard from you forever.
No, it's been a while. I have clicked on it a couple times, but I've just been listening. This is the first time I've done a Zoom with you. So
I freaking have chills right now, so I don't know what's going on with you, but it's like you've got a lot of support around you. So just keep that in mind, whatever is transitioning, that it's moving you in the right direction. So anyway, just wanted you to know that. What do you want to?
thank you. Well,
This
that
is-
helps a lot to hear. So, well, I think the same thing that I've been struggling with for a lot of years, which is financial security.
Okay.
And once again, I'm in a place of having to look for another new home, and doing it at a time of COVID and in a time where we're not working and my health is greatly suffering. It is what it is. So this tends to be the theme for me. I don't know why I don't have I seem to never quite get a home base. Anyway, that's where I'm at, just financial security. And yeah.
So I know this is so cheesy, but your guide literally said home is where the heart is. So I'm like, seriously, you're gonna play that card? Okay. Yeah, you also need to join my money mastery. So goodvibemoney.com/money mastery.
Got it.
All right, where are we? All right, loves, who's next?
Please repeat that.
goodvibemoney.com/money mastery. I'll put it in the chat too. All right, who's next, loves?
I'll go next.
Okay.
It's Kate.
Hi, Kate.
Hi. Did I unmute? Can you hear me?
Yes, love, I can.
Okay. To quit being taken advantage of by others and to bring in harmonious outcomes.
Okay, and part of the thing that's coming up is setting boundaries and honoring and valuing yourself so that they aren't taking advantage of you. This is another piece of Good Vibe Money. And I'm not just telling you all this so you can join the program, but it's free, so it doesn't matter. But we work on self-confidence, self-esteem, valuing yourself, shifting gears so that you're projecting from that higher vibe. So make sure that you're honoring yourself enough so that you're not the doormat.
Yeah.
And there's also an addiction around that. So it kind of keeps you locked in the victim mentality. So keep that in mind.
Yep.
Okay.
Thank you.
I know sometimes it's not fun. Sometimes I don't like sharing that stuff, but when it comes, it needs to It's coming to y'all for a reason. All right. Wait, there's some oil I need to add to you. Oh, ylang ylang, the essential oil or the plant that supports a buoyant heart. It's playful, it's uplifting, it helps you tune back into your childlike perceptions so that you honor your true gifts and why you're here. Wow, I got this huge whiff of it. It smells amazing. All right,
Okay.
Thank you, Kate. Who's next?
Thank you.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, love, I can.
This is Nasha here.
Hi, Nasha.
Hi there. I'm calling all the way from London. I stayed up again.
Oh,
This
bloody
time
hell,
to
you're
run something
you
in
are
the morning.
so funny. I can't believe you did that. I love you.
Well, I'm really happy to be joining, and my intention really, I've made a lot of progress in my life over the past year, but I'd really like to just increase my abundance in my health, my wealth to do with my work, and my love as well, the love that I have around me.
I love all of that. And there's some oils that are calling your name. One is cypress. So cypress is a plant that, and I bring essential oils in because it's easier than me having all of these plants. But cypress helps get you in flow. So for an abundance blend using frankincense, cypress, and wild orange will support that. And then there was something else. Oh, eucalyptus is the plant, the oil of wellness. So if you're looking to create more harmony within your physical body, eucalyptus is one of those essential oils. So I love that. Thank you for staying up and joining us. That's so awesome. Love it. All right, who's next?
Thank you.
Hi everyone. Can you
Hi,
hear
love.
me?
Yes.
My name is Camilla, and I would like to manifest release of my anxiety and good outcome for my rental coming up on the market. Well, it's actually on the market, so I am waiting for a good renter and smooth sailing with my other rental. I've been having so much stuff getting broken down. I have so much anxiety. In the last 2 years, I became divorced. My heart was shattered, and half a year ago, he passed away. So it was really very, very hard for me because we were still very, very close. But just the anxiety I fight with every day is so hard. I'm looking for a release and finding peace in life again.
Yeah, I totally hear you, sister. Anxiety is absolutely horrible. I used to have horrible anxiety and would wake up in the middle of the night with panic attacks. And anxiety often stems from the fear of the future and
Yes,
the
that's
inability
exactly.
of controlling what could potentially happen. So what I'm hearing from your guides is to only focus on the step in front of you and not all the what ifs, because it's all the what ifs that are like spiraling you out of control.
Yes, absolutely. I am what if person. What if? Thank you.
Stop it. You should join Good Vibe Money too, because this goes beyond just money. But I'm adding Clary Sage so that you have clarity and that you're tuning into your inner wisdom instead of the ego mind and trying to keep everything going. So just keep that in mind that you can stop, the train wreck from running down the track, right? Like the mind's just racing and you're like, nope, we're stopping right here. This is the end of the tracks. This is what I'm going to focus on, the step that's right in front of me. Because as soon as you project, you're like spinning out of control.
Yes.
Big one. All right, who's next?
Hi, this is Jennifer.
Hey, Jennifer.
Hello. I have a lot to say, so I'll just pick one. I would love to release the old patterns that I seem to be stuck in right now that I feel are holding me back, and are making me sort of stagnant and frustrated, and just not feeling myself. And I would also like to forgive myself for all of the things that I struggle with and that I seem to beat myself up about.
So common.
Yeah, and the anxiety and the frustration around that, and just be able to, raise myself out of that and back up into a love vibration, so that I can really focus on, walking my path.
You need to try and get vibe money too.
Yeah.
Money mastery, I should say. Yeah, because we'll be working on all of that. So we've already got forgive. There was something else that came up. So black pepper is a plant that helps release, it helps us unmask the masks that we hold on to, the things that hold us back. So that's going to, wow, it like just totally filled up your flower. That was cool. But that will help you in seeing how you're keeping yourself stuck in the patterns versus opening up to bigger and better things.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so we can really kind of hold ourselves back in that capacity.
Cool,
Yeah,
thank you.
big stuff. Yeah, thank you. All right, who's next, loves?
This is on me. Oh, oops. Okay, I'll go. This is Ani.
Ani, go ahead.
Joining the release of physical stuckness. My body hanging on to toxins and not moving life through me fast enough. And also for the healing of my tooth and all the other things in my life that relate to being stuck.
Yeah, it literally feels like you've got these boots on and they're stuck in the mud. You know that clay mud that is so, like you go to pull your foot out of the mud and your shoe stays in the mud and your foot.
I do.
That's what it feels like is taking place with you. And,
wow.
A lot of that's going to be fear related, and indecisiveness is what's coming up. So the inability of trusting, am I making the right choice and decision? Am I moving in the right direction? And that's an ongoing battle that we all have to learn how to manage. So, meditation definitely helps. So you tune into your higher self and the powers that support you. Now, the ego mind is going to try to control everything. It's going to try to spin you out of control and lead you into the wrong path. It's learning to trust your higher self and that inner voice. And it's a process that everybody has to go through to learn what that means for them, because everybody experiences it differently. So asking for signs, I know we talked about this last time, that are specific to you to support you, and then trusting that guidance, which is so huge. But there also feels like there's a lot of digestive issues. So that's the physical element that I'm picking up on. So that physical, I'm having difficulty processing life because we're not digesting life properly. So you may want to look into, specific products that help you with that. I know you use oils. There are some good ones. doTERRA's Digestion would be really supportive of getting things processed in the right capacity.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Double the dose, right?
Yeah. Just maybe take one in the morning and one in the evening and see how your body responds to it.
Okay.
All right. Who is next?
Hello, my name is Reese.
Hi, Reese.
Nice to meet everyone. I would like to mirror Jennifer in a lot of what she was releasing with old and unhealthy patterns that are kind of holding me back from my purpose and my walk. And what I would like to call in is a little more self-awareness and confidence, trusting my intuition a little bit more. I found very recently, I just feel like I need a little more clarity and healthy communication. There just seems to be a lot of discord that didn't used to be there with family and friends. That's just rising right now. And I get too caught up in ego to figure out exactly how I should move forward in those spaces.
Right. Okay, and I'm also going to bring in Clary Sage to support you in finding that clarity, not only in your path and purpose, but how to address others, and Lavender to support the communication element, that you're communicating your truth and your purpose.
Thank you.
All right, who's next?
Hi, this is Sarah.
Hey, Sarah.
And I'm sitting here just so amazed because what Jennifer said, and I believe the last lady, Risa, said in regards to wanting to, and even Ani saying the things to wanting to like shift the old way, not being stuck. Like literally, I'm like, oh my God, that's mine. Oh my God, that's me. Oh my God, like each time, each person that went, and I was trying to kind of get in. And each time I was like, well, do I really need to? Because they pretty much captured it all, which is just so amazing when we just talk about the whole universal energy. But again, for me, I am wanting to release the ties to my old story
Big one.
and habits that are pretty much centered around the logic, the head, the mind type of way, and wanting to call in and welcome the new story. Like I kind of see it, but the old way is just like the familiar way. And I kind of tend to go back to that, but I just want to be able to include like habits and behaviors that are more linked in embracing the concepts of my heart and my higher self and my ancestral guidance.
Okay, and we're going to bring in rosemary as an oil that's calling you. And rosemary is a plant of remembrance, and it's remembering who you really are. And then there's some ancestral issues around this. So I'm going to bring in Siberian fir. All of the fir oils help in unwinding the DNA so that we can have clarity as far as what is ours to release and what is others to release.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Sarah. Who's next?
Okay. My intentions are to release fear and shame and to bring in progress and empowerment.
Ooh, I love that. So a blend from doTERRA called Anchor is like screaming your name. So we're going to anchor you to the new you, right?
Yeah.
And there's something else. And Ylang Lang, so that you're feeling joyful and childlike and embracing life in all directions. All right, who's next? I've got somebody who emailed me. Her intentions were releasing connection with people who drain her energy, fear of launching her business, and reclaiming her personal power. All right, who's next?
Hi, I'm Janie.
Hi, Janie.
And I too am just captivated by all the familiarities and like, that's what I want to release. That's what I want to release. I want to release control, and kind of the belief of if it needs to get done, I have to do it myself, and bring in that trust and being supported in what was meant for me will find me. So that's kind of my intentions.
That's a very good one. Yeah, and what's coming up too is patience with the process. So it's easy when things aren't happening in your time frame that you kind of push. So just recognize that we're going to use Cypress, that things move in the right time frame for you and not always your time frame. Does that make sense?
That makes perfect sense. Oh,
trust me, I get it too. I used to be the one I'd be like, oh no, if I had the idea, I need to push make it now. And I've now learned, sit back, wait till I get validation of when to move forward with each step, right? So even if you take one step and you're like, oh, I got confirmation, I need to move ahead, it means move forward to just that step. And then you get confirmation to move to the next one. So it becomes quite the process.
Yeah, it's going to take a lot of patience and timing because I wanted it done and I want it done yesterday.
I hear you, girl. I totally hear you. Okay, so Dawn would love to release making a move, feeling stuck in her comfort zone and fear at the same time. All right, we're going to release that for you, my dear. And as I'm visualizing this, I'm literally seeing like cords are getting cut between you and this other person. So just recognize that that's taking place. And the more you disengage from thinking about that person, the easier it's going to be for you to truly let that go. And we'll bring in some peace with that. All right, who's next?
I will ask a question.
Yes. Go ahead.
Hi, Jana.
Hi.
Hi. My name is Tina. I've been following you for years. I love you.
I'm so glad you're here. Thank you.
Are
you there, Tina?
Bob, that I don't like. Yeah.
Wait.
Hi.
Start
Hello?
over. Start over.
Hi. Sorry, it might be not great Wi-Fi. Sorry.
That's okay.
I moved to France, which was supposed to be a dream come true. And I have a flight attendant job there that I don't actually enjoy. So I've had the good fortune of being furloughed, laid off for the past 4 months because we have not been flying.
Right.
And I'm grateful to be getting unemployment from France. But August 1st, I'm supposed to go back. I'm in the US right now visiting my parents. But August 1st, I'm supposed to go back to the job and back on the work schedule. And I would love to release the disappointment that it hasn't felt like a great experience and be really open to clarity about what might be next, or if I should even go back in August, or maybe take 1 more month off or something, but just kind of figuring out what's next.
Yeah, there are definitely some lessons that you had to learn with that specific situation, whether it was setting healthier boundaries, or maybe that's something you still need to do. But I definitely look at, what have I learned during that 4-year period? And, have I mastered the lesson yet? So you're not just running away and carrying that lesson with you to the next.
Right.
Okay. So the question I'd be asking myself during meditation is, what is the lesson that I've learned? Have I mastered it yet? Can I move on? And then figure out from there if now's the right time, if you can take another month, like that's something you need to tune into to figure out the timing of it. But there's definitely something you need to resolve with that.
Okay, great.
And we're going to bring clarity, Clary Sage.
Great, thank you.
Divine, the divine path, right? Because even those uncomfortable situations are opportunities for us to heal and grow. So running away from it isn't going to be the answer, but learning the lesson and having a release will be the answer.
Wonderful, thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks, Tina. Who else? I had somebody else that called in. I know we've done this on past ones, but the fear of the future, the fear of uncertainty, and releasing that energy and embracing uncertainty, right? Like, oh, I'm okay not knowing what the next step is. This kind of goes back to what we were talking about before with anxiety and that fear of the future. And it's not easy to do, but you can stop the thoughts and pull yourself back into a centered place and honor that part of you. Over here. All right, who's next? And I think there's only about 20 of us. So if there's something else that's coming up, please feel free to share again, even if you have shared already. Anyone have anything specific coming up?
I have a question, Jana.
Yes.
I'm just wondering what oil, since we're talking about anxiety and I suffer from crushing anxiety, what oil or oils, what blend do you recommend?
So if you use doTERRA, they have a whole new line called Adaptive.
Yes.
Specifically set up for people that suffer with anxiety. They have a pill that has not only oils in it, but it has other calming properties. And I know using that in conjunction with the oils will support you in amazing ways. I've seen so many huge benefits from people that are using it that have suffered with those issues.
Great, thank you.
Absolutely. There's something that's just coming up. Is there anyone who has something? It'll come back.
Which oils do you use for forgiveness and peace?
So doTERRA actually has a blend called Peace and a blend called Forgive. It's part of their emotional aromatherapy line. And it's too dark in here. I can't read what all is in it. But you can look at those. Just go to mydoterra.com and look at Peace blend and Forgive blend. And yeah, the Peace oils have flowers and herbs, and then Forgive has herbs and tree oils. Very powerful. So let's just pull in forgiveness, right? Because we've all had betrayal on some level or another in our lives, and we need to get to a place where we truly forgive and let go. And when we get to that true place of forgiveness, the issue no longer haunts us and holds us back energetically and physically. So let's release forgiveness. And calling in love. Anyone else?
This is me again. Let's see, I want to release self-criticism and pull in self-compassion and honoring my decisions.
That's huge. That's absolutely vital, because as soon as we start doubting or beating ourselves up for a decision, then we never trust ourselves and we never do move forward. So it goes back to kind of what we were saying at the beginning, bringing in that ability to trust ourselves. And I'm actually going to bring in the blend called Align to help align with what your truth is and honoring that. All right, who's next? What else is coming up? Get to
Release.
Jana?
Yes.
Oh, go ahead.
One of you go, because I can't tell who's talking.
Shireen is
Shireen,
fine.
go ahead, love.
Okay. I would like to release unhealthy toxic relationships and healthy loving relationships.
Okay, and one of the things that's coming up is, are you okay to be alone if that happens?
I am totally fine.
Okay. I
being
just
alone.
want you to be aware that as we are releasing these toxic relationships, that it is allowing us to connect with our soul family. So we're going to bring in the oil cedarwood because that supports true community. And that may not be in your physical location. And that's one of the beauties of having an online community, is at least you have people that understand you and support who you are and love you for who you are, instead of having these relationships and holding on to the ones for the wrong reasons. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Right. Go ahead.
You know, kind of to go hand in hand with what Ani said, you know, sometimes I would like to, you know, let go of the, you know, the toxic, and not my toxic self, but the part that I feel, you know, my self-esteem gets rather damaged with the decisions I've made.
Yes.
And then it rolls into anger. So I'd like to release, you know, some of that frustration and anger I beat myself up with.
Absolutely. Have you been doing or want to do a liver cleanse?
Oh, I would totally be open to that.
Yeah, because the liver is where we store anger in Chinese medicine. So we're going to bring in frankincense and geranium because, we've got the geranium plant. But both of those plants support detoxifying the liver and releasing that anger and, you know, a lot of self anger, right? So it's like everything stems back to our childhood and how other people treated us, and if we didn't feel valued and respected, then would always beat ourselves up. So it's a vicious cycle that needs to stop.
Right.
And you do that with stopping the thoughts and bringing back in love and compassion and recognizing that, you know, talk to yourself as if you're talking to 4-year-old you, and honoring who you are and not caught in that situation. This is looking so beautiful. All right, who's next? So I'm going to bring in Harmony. and the ability to see the divinity within each one of us. Even when the situation warrants frustration and anger, recognize that these people came into your life and into our lives and had to diminish their divine light so that we could understand and learn a specific lesson or lessons, whether it be forgiveness or how to overcome betrayal or to set healthy boundaries or whatever it is. But when we can start seeing people from a place of their divinity and not judgment, then we're able to embrace not only loving ourselves, but other people. All right, who's next? What's next? This smells amazing, by the way. I wish y'all were here. One day we'll do these live in person again. I think we have 4 more left, so 3 more that we can speak about, and then we'll finish the ritual up. I've stunned y'all into silence. If you don't want to speak it out loud, drop it into the chat privately to me. Like somebody's on the cusp of saying something and then they're like, no, I shouldn't say that.
So, Ani again.
Yes, love.
Releasing any and all poverty consciousness.
Yeah, that's a big piece. That's one of the reasons that I'm doing money mastery right now, is releasing the fear scarcity model that we've been in for thousands of years. And that's one of the reasons that we're doing it now, is because those of you that are ready and prepped for this, you're gonna rock it. You're gonna like skyrocket after going through it. For those that are still in fear, because there's a lot of people that may wanna take it, but they're still holding on so tightly to the old way of doing things that they're not gonna be willing to truly let go. But I'm planting seeds, so yes. All right. Abundance, 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 right?
Right.
All right, 2 more.
Jana, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Oh, awesome. I was having so many problems with Zoom. I'd like to release just the general feeling of not doing enough ever. That Capricorn feeling, right?
Yeah, girl, I get you. Enough is never enough, right?
Yeah, I know. It's like, am I being productive? Like, that's sort of the refrain in the background. And what I'd like to bring in,
Capricorns, right?
Yeah, exactly. And what I'd like to bring in is basically courage. The courage to see the process through of raising financing to make my new business a success, because it suffered a real setback during the COVID shutdown. Yeah.
Love it.
Thank you.
Yeah, huge shift has taken place with the economy. I've been talking about this for 4 years. Once Uranus moved into Taurus, we've been seeing the shakeup of the economy, and it's going to continue for the next 8 years. So just be aware that one of the reasons that I'm offering this course is to not only shift your own vibe related to money and your relationship with it, but to help raise the vibe of money in general, because money is an energy. And as we raise our personal vibe, the vibe of money, and the vibe of the planet, I mean, ultimately this will lead to raising the vibe of the planet. So I'm incredibly excited about the timing for all of this. and hope that you will join us.
I most definitely will.
Yeah, it's going to be fabulous. And I had a message from somebody. Let me read this. Releasing energy, lack, blocking, enabling more creativity. Okay, so release the inability to embrace creativity, bringing in love, health, and wealth. Love it. All right, we are down to one more, and then we'll do the silent one. So if there's anyone else, don't be shy.
Hi, I'll add one. This is Lee again.
Yes.
And I was thinking, you know, that old systematic way of thinking that things have to be challenging or difficult in order to get to the good and easy. You know, I really, really don't believe it intellectually, but then, you know, the programming of hearing it from years from people and sometimes on a daily basis, oh, well, we got to get through this in order for things to get better. I'm like, but why? Why can't we just have ease and joy? Why do you have to have that difficulty? So releasing that mindset that, you know, you got to go through these hard times in order to appreciate the good and so forth, those old cliches that really don't resonate with me.
I love it. Yeah, let's just make it easy, right?
Yes.
Make it easy. Okay, so with this last one, I want you to just close your eyes for a minute. Let's take a couple of deep breaths. Get this all set up here. Breathing into the nose. And exhale, release. And breathe in deeply. And exhale, release. And breathe in deeply. And I want you to just focus on what's taking place in your heart right now. Tune into your heart. Maybe you see yourself breathing through your heart for a minute. Just feel yourself breathe in through your heart and exhale through your heart. Letting go of all fear, fear of doing things right in this moment or asking for the right thing. Just tune into your heart. Allow yourself to feel your heart beating. Feeling into that heart consciousness, that connection between divine heaven and earth, because you are the connection between heaven and earth. And as you take a deep breath, I want you to think, feel what it is that either you want to release or what you want to create in this moment. And feel yourself breathing that in, into your computer, into your phone, whatever it is. Just when you get that intention, breathe it in. And you can imagine that we're all standing in a circle together. And I'm standing in the center of the circle, holding this intention for you, bringing in the love and light from heaven and earth, connecting you with your divinity and your humanity, tuning you into unconditional love. And also imagine that your ancestors are standing in a circle behind all of us. It's a circle within a circle. And they're projecting and holding a space of unconditional love for you. And the work that you're doing right now is not only supporting you and your personal growth and your spiritual growth, but it's also supporting them and releasing any patterns that they held on to while they were stuck on this earthly plane. I shouldn't say stuck, while they were here on this earthly plane, but the emotions that they left stuck on this earthly plane, that those are a part of your DNA, and we ask that those be pulled, canceled, and released from your physical body, your spiritual body, from this earthly plane. And just imagine it's like a balloon. It's going up to the heavens and being released. And you feel like a weight is being released from your body. The energy is moving and swirling towards the heavens, just like a balloon filled with helium. And Mother Earth is projecting her energy from the center of the earth. That's coming up through the bottom of your feet, up through your legs, up into your heart, bringing in new life, new energy, new wisdom, new direction. And take a deep breath in. And exhale, release. And recognize that you are the connection between heaven and earth. Bringing in the energies, the divine wisdom, helping anchor those in physical form, and bringing your goals and desires into physical form. And as you breathe in, breathe out your intentions. Wow. Literally bringing tears to my eyes, bringing this energy of unconditional love to this release and replacing. So hopefully you can see this. These are the beginning layers. We're going to bring in some other earth elements to continue to bless our release and reclamation process. As I mentioned before, we're bringing in the sugar to bring in the sweetness of life. And I brought in red, white, and blue. Red to bring in the earth energy and the healing energy in physical form, and the representation of our physical body and the blood that runs through our brain, our veins and brains. White for our purity and bringing in the purity of our intentions and honoring the divinity of who we each are. And the blue sugar representing the sky energy, the etheric, the pieces of us that we don't physically understand or see, but we are deeply connected. We also bring in the white lima beans. The white lima beans represent the places of power, and you can see that the spiral is infused with spaces of power. It's bringing in your creative power, and it's bringing in synchronicities. And notice as you move forward, the synchronicities that come into your life and support where you're at and moving forward to follow those synchronicities, because to me, those are the breadcrumbs that lead you forward. We also bring in the red beans. This is the emergence. You can see that the spiral is completely surrounded by these red beans, and the emergence is the little places where things are springing up and how that is supporting us in honoring our growth and evolution. We also want to sprinkle rice. So rice is symbolic of abundance. We're also going to bring in lentils. Lentils also represent abundance, abundance of the earth. We also want to bring in, so we want to bring in the elements. I have a sand dollar that we will bring in the energy of the water. We also have a black crow's feather. So I found this on my walk today. Last time we had a despacho, we were talking about, a gal, Micah, was talking about how she always asked for a sign as a black feather. And so when I saw this, I brought this in honor of her and the ability to bring in. The crow represents the hidden elements of us, the parts of us that are unknown, the pieces of us that are those intuitive pieces that we want to bring to our into our being. I also layered within the circle is sage, and sage represents cleaning and cleansing all of the impurities. So I'm also going to bless our outer ring, all of our intentions with the sage to release anything that no longer serves us so that we can truly release and replace. We want to bring in the energy of the sun and the moon. To do that, I've got a gold bead for the sun and a silver bead for the moon in opposition, since we are in the full moon cycle. I also have black licorice for protection, protecting us in our journey and allowing us to move forward with ease and grace, knowing that we are safe and protected, and we can call upon our guides to support us and our ancestors to support us. But it's up to us to actually ask for their guidance and support because of the element of free agency. They have to honor free agency and make sure that they stay within those boundaries. So when we want help, we have to ask for that help. We can't just assume that it's going to be given to us. We want to bring in the animal elements. I bring in my favorite animal crackers. For all the animals that support us, I know I often get messages from animals, and whenever I see them, when I'm out in nature, I'm always asking for, what their message is for me and how I can integrate what they're bringing to support me. We also have the divine masculine and feminine. I have star anise for these. We're also bringing in more light. So I have these golden candles that we'll put in the 4 directions. And then I have sparkling candles. So we'll have some fireworks going off when I light this up. These sparkling candles are fun. We also call in flowers for healing. I brought in the red and white flowers. I brought in these blue salvias. They're kind of a purplish blue, but I wanted to bring in the same elements that we've been blessing throughout this ceremony. Oh my gosh, this smells so amazing. And we also have some lavender, picked from my garden this morning. Lavender supports us in communication. It calms the nervous system. Another great oil to be using so that you can speak up and speak your truth. It's a great one to apply right over the throat chakra to support in releasing. We also have gold and silver cording. And when I do healing work, I always bring in gold and silver light and energy to support us. So there's our gold, here's our silver. And to weave the sun and the moon into our lives. And then we also bring in a red thread to weave together all of our intentions that we've set with today's ceremony. Let's add a little more sugar. I'm adding sweetness to all of our intentions on the outer ring. Just blessing it. We can never have too much sugar. And we'll bring in some chocolate because chocolate is simply delicious and it's the food of the gods. And I also want to bring in the energy of our ancestors with Siberian fir through all of our release, bringing everything that they've experienced and gone through to a place of fruition that recognize that they are working through us and honoring that part of us in releasing our ancestral elements so that we truly do embrace our divinity. I also have something else. I have somewhere, I don't know where it went. All right, I have confetti that I will add because I don't know where it went. Let's see if it's behind the computer. Nope. I have confetti to celebrate life and celebrate this moment and really celebrating being a part of this moment. So I'm so honored and grateful that you're all here and participating in this. And it should be, this is room for celebration. So whatever you're going through, it's an opportunity for you to release and celebrate whatever you're coming through, right? It's so easy for us to just like plug along and go from thing to thing without celebrating whatever lessons we've learned and whatever we've accomplished. So take time to celebrate yourself and where you're at today, what issues you've overcome, what mindset you've overcome, so that you truly can embrace who you are and celebrate that moment. So that's the extent of the release ceremony. What happens now is I let this sit here until my candles burn out that are around it. It takes about 3 hours. And I'm gonna pin you back up. And once the candles burn out, then I fold this all up into a little package, and then I will put it into a roaring fire so that it completely disintegrates and sends all of our intentions up to the heavens. The smoke is the release, and it's that opportunity to release the past and embrace the future by letting go. So I want to open up for any final questions or comments that you may have. Go ahead.
Hi, it's Lee. I have a question.
Yes. Go ahead, Lee. Oh, you just muted yourself.
Sorry. Is there a way that you can record the burning portion that you do to post it on the podcast or
Yeah,
however you do later so that we can watch?
Yeah, I will include that tonight. Or when I do this, I'm not sure if I'm going to do it tonight. It's so hot here. Maybe tomorrow before I feel like burning it.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Other questions or comments or anything coming up that you have questions about? I know I ran through stuff pretty quick. There's other elements that I often add in. There's actually sand that I want to add in. I couldn't find it, but I have sand from a Tibetan monk. They did a sand mandala. And so I have sand from that was infused with love and peace and all of that. So I'll sprinkle that on top of it. I think I know where it's at. But yeah, it's pretty amazing. Other questions or comments? Get everybody back here.
Hi, John. I just wanted to thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you. I'm so glad that you're here. Thank you, Miley. Yeah,
I could feel the energy.
Thank you. It's incredibly powerful, and I've been doing online circles for about 12 years. And I started doing these actual ceremonies when we started the whole lockdown thing, because I wasn't sure how it would work online, but it seems to work very well. And it's something that I integrate with the Money Mastery course too. So every 3 weeks, there's 3 modules in the first, in this program. And at the end of each of the 3 modules, we actually go through and we release any issues that you have seen coming up around money and your relationship with it and a relationship with yourself. And so it becomes a really powerful way of celebrating, you know, the successes that you're having and releasing. So again, anytime you're releasing, you want to replace and make sure that you stay in that frame of mind so that you're not, there we go. Oh, I can see you all now. Just so that you can make sure that you're, you know, not taking back the same thing that you're letting go. All right, we have a few people that have jumped off. Thank you so much. Yes, lots of goodies, lots of big stuff taking place. Any other questions or comments?
I'd just like to thank you and thank everyone for such an amazing despacho.
Yeah, it's really powerful today. So I want to thank all of you all for being here today. I'm going to drop this in the chat. So it's goodvibemoney.com/money mastery is the program. Janie says, thank you to all. Yeah, when we're here in circle, it's amazing how, and even when I was, it's interesting because when I was lining up the lima beans and kind of going through this meditative process, I kept feeling all of your ancestors already coming into this circle. So if all of a sudden you felt inspired to join us, know that your ancestors were like pushing you to be here today. It's kind of fascinating, yeah. I didn't know what to expect. I had no idea that just by doing that prep work would bring in so much meditation and healing work before we actually started this. So it was incredibly powerful. Yes, thank you all. Thank you. Feel calm and positive. It's been magical. So grateful. Yes, thank you all. All right, I'm gonna stop the record button.